Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be messing about with a scooter, trying to get this motor and the M365 battery to work together. And we've also had a couple of packages delivered which we're going to open and see how we get on with them. So as always, got your trusty knife. Okay, so we kind of know what this is by the shape of it. So we've got our brake lever off of the M365, the Xiaomi M365. I do believe that plugs straight into the display, into the back of the display, which is cool. Like I said before, we do actually have brake levers on the handlebars, but we just want to try and keep everything very the same as what everything else is going on. Looking at this brake lever, we only really needed it for this, so it links up with the display. Still not 100% if this is all going to work, so we're just going to try and keep everything as close to the M365 as we can. Looking at this brake lever, this has like a, can you see that in there? It's got like a little groove that's going to get in the way of our bar, so straight away I'm thinking I'm going to have to cut that off to fit it on my handlebars, which isn't a problem really. I can't see it being a problem, I'm sure it's going to be. But yeah, nicely built, good colour, feels nice. And then we've got this one, which so nothing else in there. They do wrap their stuff very well. Okay, so this is the brake discs and the caliper. I ordered these from, where did I order these from? A website called, I think it's an app called Loom. It's a little bit like eBay, but I think it's like a Russian style version of it or something like that. So the idea is, so here we have the caliper and the brake disc that we are going to try and mount to this hub. So the idea is to take the drum brake off and use the backing plate of the drum. We'll probably have to file that down so it's flat, and we're going to use that as our base plate for the brake discs. And then obviously we're going to have to try and mount the caliper onto the frame. Yeah, try is going to be is the word, I think, which could be easy or it could be really difficult, because we might have to have some kind of welding bracket mounted for it to all go onto properly. It's pretty cool. I think I paid about £11 for the caliper and the disc, so at the end of the day, if it does go horribly wrong, it hasn't really cost me a great deal. And I think even if I end up damaging the drum brake, I've done a bit of research and you can pick them up for about £6. So it's not going to be the end of the world if this doesn't work, but it would be pretty cool if we can get it to work. So let's get the frame up here and just have a little look how it's going to look like it's going to fit, and to see whether we're going to need any kind of bracketing or where everything's going to be mounted. I think I'm going to have to invest in a little chair because I'm sort of crouching down here. So as you can see, this is the frame, this is a caliper, and this is where the wheel is going to go on the back here. Like so. So we need to try and, the disc will be on here, roughly around there. We're going to have to try and get this caliper on there, which, looking at that, is doable. So I'll take it that's going to be your bracket holes, that one and that one. Right, so just been messing about with this belt and we managed to get the bar out. I don't think I was supposed to do that. And that drum just comes straight off. Okay. Like so. So I think the idea is going to be, this is the back of the drum, and when I see the video on YouTube, the guy had actually filed down this, so it's dead flat, so the surface was flat. It then drilled out a massive hole in there, and just so the hole would fit around that, and then that goes on like that, and then he had some drum brakes. No, he didn't, he had some disc brakes. So here we have the brake disc on the wheel. I've only just put it in there and just rested it together just to see what it's like. I think it's going to end up going back a bit more than it is, so it's away from the motor. So technically the disc is going to go here, and then our caliper is going on, if we can get it on. We wanted it here, didn't we? It needs to be somewhere around here. So it'll end up being like that. On here, so it's out of the way. So we are actually going to have to make some kind of plate, some sort of bracket, just to keep the caliper where it should be, and away from the wheel, so it's free flowing. But it's only a case of, because we've got this here, it does help. The good thing is, when I put the top deck on, it's going to be, I won't have to do any cutting either, so it's going to be out of the way enough for it to be, you know, dirty hands. I don't like having dirty hands. I get paid enough to have dirty hands. So but yeah, for £11, I don't think you can really go wrong with this purchase. So, like I was saying in the last video, we've got our loom. We've got, so I made these wires up with these L-shaped connectors. This is basically going to go onto our control board, and this is going to act as our motor. So on the Xiaomi M365, so on the M365 scooter, you actually have 3 wires coming off of the front wheel motor. You have a blue, a brown and a yellow, I do believe. I'm still hunting the internet down to try and work out what the 3 are, which correspond to the control board. So on the control board, the motherboard, let me show you on this camera. So on the control board, the motherboard, we have these 3 connectors. I think it's A, B and C, but obviously because what we're doing, we're using this motor from, say, the 300, the Razor 300. We only have 2 motor wires, so we have to work out what out of this control board, which 2 we can use, and then obviously we've got the hassle of finding out whether the 3rd one's gonna, whether the display is going to be constantly asking for the 3rd one, so it might come up as an error, which is if it does, that's going to be a ball ache, because we're either going to have to try and trick it, it's there, or hopefully it'll be a case of if it's not there, it's not really needed, but I can't see that happening personally. And then on the 365 front wheel motor, you have the 3 wires coming from it, but you also have another plug wire which has got 5 small wires, I think, yellows and greens and blues and blacks and whatever. That's cool. That goes into let me show you. So that goes into this middle one here. I do believe that's called a hall sensor, and from what I've been researching online, the hall sensor is I think it's like a speed type thing, so it tells you, it tells the control board what the front wheel's doing. Well, we've got a different style motor, so again, this might be causing the control board to be thinking things are not there when they should be. Hopefully this is something that isn't necessarily needed, but we might have to see how we get on with that. So the issue is, and if any of you guys know and want to email me or message in the comments below what these 3 are, what they do, and what ones I need to put mine onto, that would be a great help, because I'm still winging it, guys, so just learning as I'm going along. And then the other thing is whether I need this hall sensor. If I don't plug it in, is it going to cause much of an issue with my style motor? So if you can leave a comment below, that would be wicked. I'd appreciate the help. Regarding what we've got going on here, we know our battery's going in here. We know this is where the display goes into this one, and I think I did say that was the light, I think the rear light, that one there. So it's just a case of this hall sensor, do we need it? And then these 3 connectors, which one we use out of the 2, which 2 we use out of the 3. And then obviously if we don't use the 3rd one, is it going to cause much of an error message with what we got set up? So that's the spanner in the works. I think if it was just a case of just plugging it in and going, we'd pretty much be there. Obviously still waiting for the throttle, which I presume will be here very soon, because the front brakes turned up, so that was ordered at the same time, so shouldn't be an issue. So we can work out how this all works, and if anyone knows of any diagram as well for this control board, so that would be a good help, or even know what they are, so we can make a diagram between us, just to get that online, because I'm sure somebody else is going to have this trouble sooner or later. But I just want to I do actually want to get the motor plugged in. I want to get the throttle on, and I want to see if it works, because I don't see why it shouldn't. But I had these made up. These are basically going to go, red's going to red, blue is going to black. I've done them a little bit longer than they probably needed to be, but like I said before, we can just tie up our wires within the cubby hole and keep it nice and tidy in there. Got loads of room anyway, so there's no issue. We might as well get these connected so they're on. Got a bit of heat shrink on them so we can keep everything tidy. I'm just going to trim these back a bit. So as always, give these a bit of a twist. Keep your wires in there. And then, nope, that's the wrong wire. There's the other one gone. There. Good, new bit. So red to red and blue to black. That's in there nice. I'm going to let that cool down before I put it away. So our wires are nice and tight and secure, and they've been heat shrinked. So what we'll probably do is wrap them around once in there, so it's like that. So it's not worth trying to connect them up yet, because I don't know what connectors they need to go on as of yet. I don't want to blow any boards or fuses just randomly plugging them in, so really need to work out what's what before we do that. But we do know that everything fits, everything's nice and tidy, everything's there, everything's secure. As always guys, thank you for watching. Thumbs up if you can, subscribe down the bottom, and I'll catch you on the next one.